Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hi, everyone coming in. Let's talk. Let's talk immigration. Let's talk immigration. Hi, everybody. Say hello when you come on. And pull my brass strap up. It's a ladies' world. Hi, everyone. Coming in, coming in, coming in. Say hello when you come on. Tell me how your day has been. Let's talk immigration. What's going on? Let me know where you're actually joining in from. Is it Facebook or YouTube? I've always wanted to ask. I always forget, but today I remembered. So let me know because I go live simultaneously on Facebook and YouTube at the same time for the most part. So that you kill two birds with one stone. Is that what they say? But hi everyone, this is attorney Episola Olale, immigration lawyer based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Our office is physically located in Alabama, Demopolis, Alabama, but I can represent immigration clients regardless of the state you live in. You get an immigration case, my firm handles that case. We do represent you, so do not let that be a deterrent. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. And let me first apologize. I was supposed to come on at 3, like I said in the post, but life happens. Just literally got off the phone with the client. So my apologies for that. Yeah, that's why I hardly give it time, because I'm that person. If I tell you when to do something at a specific time, I have to keep my commitment, and if I cannot, it just makes me. Anyway, I digress. But I'm here. So if you haven't subscribed to YouTube channel, please do so. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well, Olale Immigration. And please like our Facebook page if you haven't done so. And share this video. Sharing is caring. Share this video with everyone. And I can't tell you how many times I get emails or text messages, whether to my phone or social media, saying, I was watching your video, and one of the videos you did actually answered my question. And so thank you. So, yeah, I'm glad to be able to help people. But anyway, come on in. Let's talk. Let's talk immigration, and let's talk winning your Vawa case. Tips on winning your Vawa case. If you do not know what a VAWA case is or what VAWA immigration benefit is, then you must be living under a rock somewhere. But VAWA is a way where you can get your green card because you have been an abused victim of your spouse. Your spouse being someone who is a U.S. citizen or someone who is a legal permanent resident, green card holder. Oh, by the way, we got talking of green cards. We got a green card today. We cover the, yeah, we got a green card today. See that, everybody? It's nothing, well, very few things more exciting than that. Just being able to call someone and say, I got your green card in my hand. You can travel. Yeah. But anyway, yes. So that is a way where you can file for your own green card without the knowledge of your spouse. If you have been abused by that spouse in your marriage, or even if you're no longer married, you're now divorced, but you're still able to file for about 2 years from the final date of your divorce, meaning the date of the final entry of divorce, within 2 years from that. And you can link the abuse you suffered to the reason why you got divorced. It doesn't have to be stated in your divorce decree, but it has to be, you have to be able to make a connection, whether it be during your therapy or your declaration. Somehow you must be able to make a connection between one and the other. So how do you increase your chances of winning your VAWA case? Let's start with this tips, and keep in mind, this is not legal advice to your case. This is information for you to have. If you need to have your case evaluated, then we can do that for you. over a proper paid consultation, either for 30 minutes or 1 hour, which is $125 or $225. So we can do that. This is just for information basis. But when you file your VAWA case, the goal is to win your case. The goal is to get your green card at the end of the day. And so it starts from before you even send in your case, making sure you have everything aligned and you have everything that should align to win your case. So first things first, have a checklist. Have a checklist that is going to be your guide so that you know that you can check off what you're submitting or what you need to submit to USCIS in order to make your case. Make sure that you are meeting all the elements. The importance of the checklist is so that there are specific requirements for a VAWA case. When you have a checklist, you're able to use that and check off all the requirements and making sure you have met those requirements as you prepare your case. So say, for instance, if you have a checklist for marriage evidence that you are legally married to that person, you're legally married to your abuser, or that you are legally married to your abuser. That number one. Number two, you have a checklist that you know to include the status of your abuser. Are they a citizen or are they a legal permanent resident? Copies of your birth certificate or U.S. passport, or a copy of their green card to show that they are a legal permanent resident. What that you shared residency with your abuser, meaning you live in the same house. There is no requirement for how long you should live in the house with them, but it's not a case of you lived with them one day. One day is not enough to show that you had a good fit marriage, and that brings me to the next point: showing that you have a good fit marriage. How do you prove good faith? Good faith and shared residency go hand in hand. Because when you share residence with someone, you're living in the same place, right? When you live in the same place, you tend to have bills together. You tend to commingle your funds together. So you have bank accounts together. You have a life together. You have a child together who lives with both of you. So it kind of like intertwines one another. So your evidence for your shared residency and good faith will almost be identical, but you have to still make sure that you're addressing the shared residency part of VAWA requirement, as well as the good faith marriage requirement of VAWA. Then you have to also prove that you suffered abuse, and then we'll get to that later. You also have to be able to show that you're a good person of good moral character. So that's what your checklist should contain. Your checklist should be able to say, okay, I need evidence of that I'm married or that I'm divorced, but I'm filing within 2 years from the divorce. I need evidence that my spouse is a citizen or green card holder. I need evidence that I shared residence with them. I need evidence that I had a good faith marriage with them. I need evidence that I'm a good person of good moral character. I need evidence that I'm physically present in the United States. I also need evidence that I suffered abuse. So that's that with the checklist. Number two, make sure that there are no inconsistencies between your VAWA filing and any prior immigration filing you have done. Example, if you are or you were the beneficiary of an I-130, I-485 combo that your spouse filed on your behalf, keep in mind that immigration has your record. So you cannot now go by another name or have a different date of birth from what you already have. Yeah, because that goes towards you being a person of good moral character. People always say, well, I don't have a copy of what I filed with immigration the first time. Guess what? You can do a FOIA request. USCIS FOIA request. That is asking USCIS to give you a copy of your file within their possession. And by that, once you get that, you can go through and refresh your memory as to what you filed in. Because when you begin to have inconsistencies between your previous immigration filings and now your VAWA case, that goes to hurt your credibility. And that is solely, completely based on you being able to have credible evidence to support or sustain every part of the VAWA case. Okay? So that's that. Number 3, make sure that you are using forms that are the current edition of your forms. Do not send in forms that are expired. The way you can make sure you're using the current edition is go to uscis.gov/forms website and look, and each form would give you the edition date. Each form would also let you know if the particular form that you're using is still acceptable by USCIS. If it is not, you want to make sure that you have the current form and you are not using something that's outdated that's going to make them now reject your case or deny your case, because now they're taking your filing fee and then they look at it like, oh no, your form was an outdated form, so we can't even approve your case based on that. Okay, so when it comes to, so you have the checklist, you make sure you have no inconsistencies, and then you have your abuse. Vawa case is just not about the abuse, but Vawa case, what differentiates it from a regular marriage-based is the abuse element. Because when you file a marriage-based green card application, you still have to show that you shared residence with your spouse, that your spouse is a citizen or green card holder, that you have a good faith marriage, and you have to be able to prove the status of your spouse, meaning they're a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident. The only additional element with VAWA is that you suffered abuse and the fact that you are the petitioner in your VAWA case. So abuse is a big part of it, because that is the whole point why you're able to now step in the shoes of what would have been your spouse and be your own self-petitioner because of the treatment that you have suffered at the hands of your spouse. How do you make sure that you are able to sustain that proof that you have suffered abuse? 95% or even more of VAWA victims suffer anything but physical abuse, meaning your evidence hardly is physical abuse. Many more times, people do not even understand that what they're being subjected to is abuse, and that can actually qualify them for VAWA. So if you don't have physical abuse, that's one question I get all the time. So how do I prove that I've been abused? That's where witnesses come into play. How we just go about life and something happens to us that our spouse does, and then you've got this one friend that you can confide in and you've told them what you're going through, right? Now you get to the point where, okay, now I need to file my immigration paper. And you remember you've told your friend about that. That is someone who can be a witness and can actually attest and write an affidavit on your behalf, attesting to what you had told them or what they may have witnessed. Number one. Number two, your declaration is everything. Your personal statement, your declaration is everything. It is telling it, and you don't just say, oh yeah, so on this day at sister time, I was thrown out of the house, the end. No, you've got to lay the foundation. How did you meet this person? What did you feel about them when you met? When did you get married? When did you feel that was the right person? How long were you married for before you started noticing all those changes? What was the first incident that happened that made you feel, that's not right? What was the second incident that made you feel, who did you talk to about that? Do you have police reports? If you do not have that, did you seek counselor? Did you go to therapy? Did they refuse to go to therapy? What other incidents can you think of? Did they, hold you hostage? Did they seize your immigration papers so you couldn't work? Did they tell you when to come to the house, when to eat, where to go? Did they limit your interaction with friends? All of that is what needs to be included in your declaration. It is absolutely important not to leave anything out, because for the most part, a lot of people may not have anything but the declaration, and then you have your witnesses that help with your declaration. And talking about witness affidavits, one thing that a lot of people don't understand is this. It is one thing for witnesses to write affidavits on your behalf. It's another thing to have witnesses write those affidavits but also include copies of their identification. There is more credibility that USCIS gives to affidavits that are accompanied by the identity of the author. Anybody can write an affidavit. Anybody can swear an affidavit. It doesn't. You can say, yeah, you have to go to a notary public, and you can, yes. But we also know that people have friends or family members or people to work with that can notarize stuff for you without even asking for your ID. But when someone not only attests to what they're saying, but is able to actually give immigration a copy of who to show who they are, that is something USCIS gives more credibility to than just an affidavit without any identity behind it. Big. Another thing that would help you to win your VAWA case is having a psychological evaluation. There's just one company that I use, knock on wood, I hope they never go out of business, and I knock on wood because I love that company, that I use for all my VAWA cases or 751 abuse-based waiver cases. They are as good as it gets. They will analyze your case. They will make you talk about things you didn't even expect you wanted to talk about. I literally had someone email me this morning and said, Sissy Lawyer, which is what my AKA name, that's another story, that I had no clue that I had this much bottled in. I was very reluctant when you said I have to do this, and I go, it's, I don't force you, but it's highly strongly recommended. And she sent me an email. That was the very first email I got when I got into office, that I had no clue. I'm looking forward to my second session with them because it was, I was relieved. I feel better. I cried, I laughed, and just to know that I don't have to feel ashamed. Sometimes it is liberating, but you're helping your case. So always have, and why that helps you to increase your chances in winning your VAWA case is that USCIS gives credence to the assessment of a licensed professional, especially people who are licensed in dealing and evaluating and seeing and counseling victims of abuse. So this is that company that I'm talking about. That's what they deal mainly with immigration victims. So they know, and they use the power and control well to assess everybody, and that's what I use in my practice as well. And that's what USCIS uses. So it is like everything comes together and helps you form that case that you can actually increase your chances. No one can ever guarantee anything, but winning a VAWA case starts and ends with preparation. And knowing that you have that checklist that helps you start, and you go by that and you make sure that everything else checks out, and you're able to present a case that tells your story. Because you have to keep in mind, you don't get called for an interview in a VAWA petition. Now, the VAWA petition is separate from your 485. The 360, you do not get called for an interview. So everything that they base their decision on is solely what you send in as evidence. And if they don't believe that it's credible evidence, then that's the end. You want to make sure that everything you send in is credible evidence. So let's see. Have VAWA pending since November 2019, and last month that has changed to name was updated. We never requested for my name updated or anything. What can it be? It just means that they're working on your case. They're working on your case. And hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. How are you? Thank you. Try to educate. So that's basically what it means, Mr. Sin. It just means that they're working on your case. That there's been an action. So if you filed in November 2019, they're actually working on cases received anywhere in July through October, November 2019. So the next thing you may be actually again may be your EAD card that comes when the VAWA petition itself is approved. So you may see the next thing you may see maybe can't talk about your case without a proper consultation, but it may be saying something to the effect would be ordered your new card or something. If you see that under your VAWA number, that means your case is going to be approved. So that's what I would say that would mean. But anyway, all righty. Thanks to everybody who jumped on, and please share this video. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. I'm everywhere, people. And until next time, everyone. Bye-bye.